I think he's not going to get as many starts as I would like, but I think Shedeur wins at 2 games for the Browns this year.
Everyone keeps talking about Shedeur Sanders' performance, but no one's asking why he's getting blamed for things he didn't even do. He's being judged, not for his throws, not for his mistakes, but for the way fans praise him. And while internet drama swirls around his name, Shedeur's back on the field, unfazed, focused, and quietly shutting down everyone who ever doubted him. So how did this 22-year-old QB become one of the most polarizing stories in football? Without even starting a regular season NFL game. After weeks of whispers, rehab updates, and speculative hot takes, Shedeur Sanders finally stepped back onto the practice field, and the internet noticed instantly. With an oblique injury that sidelined him during critical reps, many wondered if he'd come back rusty, hesitant, or even worse, afraid. But from the very first snap, that narrative flipped.
When you were looking at both of these quarterbacks coming out, which quarterback did you prefer just as a football player?
Shedeur. And mostly, much bigger body.
In a single clip, the camera caught him dropping dimes like he never left. No hesitation. No panic. Just clean footwork and laser-sharp reads. It wasn't just a quarterback returning. It was a statement. Coach Stefanski admitted Shedeur was still limited, but insiders say he got every meaningful rep the team needed. Off structure, on target, confident, and almost immediately, footage started circulating. His footwork, his confidence, that quick release. Millions watched, commented, and argued, but underneath all the noise was one reality. Shedeur wasn't just back, he looked better. And here's the kicker. This wasn't even a real game. No full-speed defense. No national TV spotlight. Yet it somehow broke NFL Twitter more than some actual preseason matchups. But if that surprised fans, what happened next had the media scrambling to catch up.
Whenever it's my turn, and I just got to take advantage of it. I feel like, today I did some good, some bad. And I know moving forward, I won't make the same mistakes twice. So.
Shedeur Sanders finally makes his kind of somewhat full return back to practice. As we knew yesterday, he was severely limited with his oblique injury. But today, I don't know if you could see, it's probably on your screen right now. He's dropping dots. He's feeling nice. He's feeling good. So
there's something you can't see on tape. No highlight clip can capture it. And that's the mental battle every athlete fights when returning from injury. It doesn't matter how minor the injury looks on paper. Your brain creates hesitation. Will it flare up again mid-motion? Can you twist, plant, pivot without feeling a snap? For Shedeur Sanders, this wasn't just about arm strength or playbook knowledge. It was about trusting himself again. Coaches watching him closely noticed a pattern. At first, he's feeling out the movement, second-guessing a little, adjusting his mechanics mid-throw. But by the next sequence, it's full command. He starts looking like someone who believes his body won't betray him. Anyone who's played a competitive sport, from high school soccer to college track, knows that moment. It's that internal switch from, I hope I'm good, to, oh yeah, I'm back. And that change, the one no reporter can quantify, might be why Shedeur's return is more powerful than people realize. But just when it looked like he was easing in quietly, he dropped a throw so clean it had analysts buzzing by the next morning. It looked like just another rep, motion, snap, clean mechanics. But this throw was different. Shedeur dropped back, eyes scanning quick, and then fired a fade ball to the sideline so perfect it felt scripted. The target? Donald, a player he'd previously struggled to connect with just a few weeks ago. Back then, it was an overthrow. This time, it was textbook. He placed the ball exactly where it needed to be. Outside shoulder, back of the end zone, perfectly out of reach of the defensive back, but right in McDonald's breadbasket. There wasn't a sliver of daylight between the defender and the route. And yet, Shedeur used what little space was available like a seasoned veteran. That tiny detail, that's what set it off. He wasn't just throwing to an open man. He was outthinking a defensive read. He didn't try to force it vertical. He angled it horizontally, creating separation with placement, not power. Something most rookies just don't do this early. The clip exploded. Coaches loved it. Teammates started buzzing. And fans? They weren't just watching anymore. They were waiting, questioning if they were seeing the early signs of a legit NFL future. But the timing couldn't have been better, because suddenly a door opened that no one expected. While Shedeur Sanders was quietly stealing the spotlight at practice, two names were trending for the wrong reasons: Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett. Gabriel got his shot. In live reps, he had a chance to build momentum, but instead, he coughed up a pick six and lost a fumble. Even more surprising, Browns media just brushed it off as if it didn't matter. No meltdown, no criticism, nothing. And everyone watching had the same question. If Gabriel can mess up without backlash, what happens if Shedeur lights it up even once? Then there's Pickett, supposed to be battling for the job, but he hasn't even played. Injury reports say it's a hamstring issue, but the truth is, he's been completely invisible this preseason. Not on the field, not in the spotlight, just there. His vanishing act is quietly reshaping the QB depth chart, and nobody's saying it out loud yet. But it's obvious. Shedeur just leapfrogged the guy some thought was a lock. And when one quarterback fumbles, literally or figuratively, NFL teams notice. The Browns may not say it publicly, but fans and experts already feel it. A shift is happening, and Shedeur is standing right in the center of it. But here's the twist. The biggest backlash he's facing isn't even about football. Shedeur Sanders is playing smart, staying focused, battling through injury, and pushing for reps. So why is the internet acting like he's the problem? Ironically, the hate isn't aimed at his character, his work ethic, or even his performance. It's stemming from the noise surrounding him, namely his fans. The louder they cheer, the more the backlash builds. And somewhere along the way, Shedeur stopped getting evaluated for what he's doing and started getting blamed for how people are talking about him. One tweet from Browns media personality Grant Puskar summed it up perfectly. Shedeur meat writers are his worst enemy. They're creating haters for him for no reason. Think about that. A hardworking rookie QB is catching smoke, not because of his mistakes, but because people like him too much. This isn't about touchdowns anymore. It's about perception. And the same NFL media machine that once hyped quarterback charisma is now trying to discipline players for having personality. Shedeur's throwing clean reps and cracking jokes in practice. Meanwhile, outsiders are pinning him down with labels like narcissist, nepo baby, or distraction. But if you think that's where the negativity ends, you haven't seen what they're doing to Travis Hunter. As Shedeur quietly earns reps and gains trust on the field, his closest teammates are getting pulled into the chaos too. And no one's felt that heat more recently than Travis Hunter. Over the past few weeks, social media has been flooded with rumors, viral posts, fake AI accounts, shady YouTube reports, all spinning unverified drama about Travis's relationship, personality, and even his future in the league. It's messy, it's baseless, and worst of all, people are treating it like fact. Some have claimed Travis and his partner broke up. Others say he's distracted, unfocused, or too playful during practice sessions. But here's the thing. None of it is confirmed. It's pure speculation, masked as concern. And guess what? That same wave of negativity always ends up brushing into Shedeur. Because in the eyes of haters, it's all the same crew. Dion's kids, flashy players, too much swagger. It's become a pattern. When one of them shines, the criticisms get louder. When one stumbles, the internet piles on like they've been waiting. But here's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to talk about. These players are being policed not for failing, but for enjoying the game. And that leads to the real question. Why is joy being treated like a problem? Somewhere along the way, people forgot what this game is. Football is still a game. It's played with passion, emotion, swagger, and yes, joy. But for players like Shedeur Sanders, showing any of that now somehow means you're not serious enough. Shedeur cracks a joke at practice, dances a little, gets Joe Flacco to smile, and suddenly, that's news? Suddenly, that's a red flag? Let's be real. This is a 22-year-old who's had cameras in his face since middle school, who grew up around NFL locker rooms, who's been media trained and mentored by one of football's most intense competitors, his own father, Shedeur Sanders. He's not caught up in the lights. He's not shocked to be here. He's just staying loose, and that's what leaders do. And that mindset, that same love for the game you see from Shedeur, is what fuels guys like Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn, and so many others being criticized just for having energy. Some fans want robot QBs who stare straight ahead and speak in textbook sound bites. But Shedeur, he's human, and he's enjoying the moment. And maybe, just maybe, that's the part that makes people the most uncomfortable. Because joy doesn't fit their agenda. It's easy to look at Shedeur Sanders and label him as just another second-generation athlete with a famous last name. But that narrative ignores the grind and the sacrifices that got him here. This isn't just about one kid trying to make it in the NFL. This is about a family rewriting the game on their own terms. From HBCU roots at Jackson State to the chaos of Colorado's media frenzy, Shedeur didn't run from the spotlight. He shaped it. His brother, Shiloh, gave up a promising career path to stay with the family. Travis Hunter, a 5-star phenom, ignored powerhouse D1 offers to follow Deion's vision. These guys didn't choose the easy road. They chose something bigger. And through it all, Shedeur's faced the pressure of being Shedeur Sanders' son, without ever trying to be his clone. He doesn't talk like Prime. He doesn't act like Prime. He just puts his head down and delivers, over and over. This isn't just about quarterback play. This is about changing what success looks like for young black athletes who smile on camera and still dominate on the field. This is legacy in the making, and no tweet can erase that. Shedeur Sanders doesn't need to silence critics. They were never really listening anyway. While the internet fights over highlight clips, fan reactions, and media narratives, he just keeps showing up. Injured or not, praised or criticized, he's steady, focused, still playing the game he's known since he was a kid. He's in the middle of one of the biggest football storylines of this generation. Not because he forced his way in, but because the attention naturally follows talent, composure, and confidence. Yes, he has fans who go too hard. Yes, the spotlight is relentless. But what Shedeur's showing every time he steps out on the turf is way bigger than stats or camp reps. He's rewriting what it means to carry legacy. He's doing it with humor, with intelligence, with a chip on his shoulder. And he's not apologizing for making the game fun again. So the next time someone says he's overhyped, or not serious enough, or a product of media noise, ask them this: if he's not the real deal, why can't anyone stop talking about him?